we need to talk about the new Season Pass rework. What is up, guys? Welcome to this new video. I was planning on uploading a different video today, but the situation asks for something like this. As you might have seen, the new season have started, and with it comes the Season Pass rework. I also went over this whole new Season Pass system and the leveling system in my overview video of the patch notes, and I played a little bit during the evening after I published that video to kind of feel and see how it felt to play with these new changes, let's say. It felt different, which is normal because it's a whole shakeup of the season, and it takes some getting used to, and I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt in that regard, that we're used to a lot of ways of leveling that we now completely need to change. But it is, however, there's many problems, and I think I'm not the only one feeling this. I think most of the comments on that patch note video were about how people did not like the leveling and how it felt a lot slower than before, even though Expo said that it should be faster. One of you even went as far as sending me an email asking me to speak up about this new system, and I think you don't have to go send me emails about these things. I mean, it's okay, but I was already planning on making a video on this because I see the community and frankly me as well, we're a bit disappointed. It sounded really great on paper. I do have to say, it looked pretty cool when I was reading the patch notes. Although, like I said, I was skeptical about taking away the sealed season points. And playing in game has kind of confirmed that for me. I understand that they want to kind of control the season pass leveling a bit, which is fair enough. Yeah. However, the current system feels more like a chore than the previous one, which is what they were saying they were trying to combat. So just a quick recap in case you don't know. Now we, instead of weeklies and dailies, we just have, in the season tasks tab, we have 5 categories we can choose from, and you can select 3 categories to do missions from. So let's say I choose combat, exploration, and science. Those will be the 3 that are available to any account. For session battles, you need to have at least level 5 in session battles to select this one, and for subdivision you need to be in a subdivision, and we click confirm. And now these tasks are available for the day. Yeah, so and these categories, you also get a 4th category if you have premium, which is essentially just a collection of random tasks from all the categories you have access to. And per category, you get 4 quests. Now, as you can see, for example, in the combat category, I have to clear 4 enemy camps, and I get 250 season points. Then clear out enemy supply base, 250 season points. Clear out zombie camps, 250 season points, and kill players in the open world, 250 season points. Once I've completed 3 out of 4 in a category, I completed the category and I get 1,000 season point bonus. So let's say you complete all of these, and that's 2 tiers you get, right? Same goes for these 2 other ones. I'm just gonna ignore the premium one because I know not everybody has premium. So that's essentially 6 tiers you can get if you complete all your tasks for the first time. Then there's also a little bonus here, but it's nothing too crazy because you just get season currency or crate, which is, it's still nice, but it's not like the weeklies before where you got 4 tiers, right? These are daily quests as well, so they reset every day. Now, you can complete these infinitely, right? So once I've completed one of these, I can do it again, but for 100 season points. And I'm gonna have to do, I don't know by heart, but let's say 8 camps instead of 4. And then once I've completed that again, I'm gonna have to do, let's say, 12 camps, and I'm gonna get 50 season points, right? And so technically you can keep doing these, but it becomes a really slow, tedious grind. And also I like that there's a lot of options, but at the same time it also causes you to, again, this is also because it's new, so we haven't really memorized them yet, but you constantly need to go back, look, okay, what do I have to do now? And you do more reading than actual playing now. Which again, this can also be due to that it's new, which is fair enough, but it's honestly feeling more like a chore than before. And yeah, seal season points are completely gone, so this is literally the only way to get battle pass points. And what struck me most when I was playing is that when you complete an open world event, so let's say I clear a zombie camp, when you claim your reward, you also get just 25 XP usually like instantly granted, right? 25 battle pass XP. This is also gone, and I did not necessarily read that from the patch notes before, so that I was kind of disappointed by that, because it's essentially nothing. Let's be honest, it's 25, but it allows you to have a separate XP grind as well, aside from these tasks, you know? And it's not as OP as sealed season points, because you just get 25 flat per event you do. And I was very disappointed that that was taken away as well, because that kind of made it worthwhile to do events that you didn't have to do for tasks, because at least you still get some XP for it. But now, if there's an open world event that you end up doing because you, I don't know, you run through and you have to kill the bloodsuckers, for example, anyway, it's literally not worth it for the XP gain. Like, you don't get anything from it, which is, in my opinion, very counterproductive, and it will make the game feel like a chore, because you're gonna have to focus on tasks that reward XP instead of just doing whatever you like in the world, which is what they were saying. They were trying to encourage more again, instead of just mindlessly grinding forge like we had to do previously. So I think this is something, like, one thing that definitely has to come back. Like, it's 25 XP. Sure, there's probably like 5 people who will abuse it, but I mean, it's 25 XP. It's not the same as getting 10 sealed season points from one camp in Forge, you know? It's way less easy to abuse. And I don't think it's gonna, change the XP grind that much. So this is something that really stuck out for me and I was very disappointed by as well. I've actually gotten a lot of people in the comments saying like, yeah, this is it. This is the straw. They actually really made it a chore. I don't think I'll continue playing, which is such a shame, because this was super exciting. I thought like, okay, this could be cool. This could be a new way to engage with the game, because also before the season ended, a lot of people were asking me, how do you not burn out? How do you... these are things they try to address in their patch notes. But like, this is what Xbox said they wanted to address in their patch notes. They wanted to stop people from burning out by like giving them more options than just monotonously grinding Forge or whatever gives the most XP, right? And I think this I will get to this in a second. They have acknowledged in a post on the Discord yesterday that they have received the feedback and that they are gonna change things. So I'm very happy to hear that they're straightforward with that. But I'm also kind of like, again, why is it only posted in the Discord? I know there's a lot of players, for example, playing on Steam who have not gotten this message. So this communication also needs to be more consequent, especially when it concerns something as vital as this, because I haven't looked at the numbers, but I'm pretty sure they're losing player base right now because of this change. But so let's get into what they've posted. So this is actually a message posted by Ziff himself, right? He posted yesterday, which is on Thursday, in the Discord, Season Pass correction of mistakes. Hello Stalcraft players, Ziff is here. We spent the whole day yesterday reading and analyzing your feedback. To be honest, not everything went according to plan. Somewhere we overthought things, somewhere we got it wrong. We were ready for such reaction, and we're also ready to quickly work on the problem. So I'm very happy to hear this in the first sentence already, that they are listening to player feedback. We wanted to encourage players to do more activities and explore the open world, but our vision wasn't met the way we expected. We relied on numbers, calculating that the average player should get more levels than before. However, we did not sufficiently take into account the real feeling of the gameplay. And I think this is such an important thing that they say here. Like, I think a numbers approach makes a lot of sense in a game like this, because you can learn a lot from analytics and numbers. However, and this is because they've been talking a lot about these numbers in the changes, like in their balance changes as well. And the problem with a number first approach is that it cannot never work by itself in video games. You need to have some other approach as well, for example player experience in this case, and you need to combine them before you make your choices, because this is the living example of what happens if you focus too hard on your number first approach. So I'm happy that they're hopefully realizing this, and I hope they'll continue to use this mentality in the changes coming forward and not rely solely on numbers. So then they say what we want to change. First of all, freedom in dailies. We'll make it possible to complete any dailies any number times a day without changing the quest conditions. If you want, you can choose the same one 18 times in a row and the reward will be the same. This is something that's already gonna ease it a lot, because 250 XP, yeah, sure, you have a lot more tasks you can do, but you do it once and then you get 100 XP. That's barely anything. And especially if the XP from just the events in general is gone, it's a really slow grind that will make it feel more like a chore. If you want to give people the freedom to play the way they want and still be able to progress the battle pass without having to spend like 8 hours a day to actually get to level 500 over the span of the whole season, because that's how it is for a lot of people. If they don't, like, if they have a job, if they can't play like 6 hours a day, by the rate that you can accumulate XP right now, you won't be able to reach level 500. And this is the problem with their numbers approach. Numbers can be skewed very quickly by a small majority that plays a lot, for example, in this case. So this is the thing where player experience really needs to be taken into account as well. Secondly, over limit, making conditions more complicated. Are you over the limit of 18 daily tasks per day? Okay, then the tasks go into complicated mode, a kind of analog soft cap. Like 18 tasks for 250 points a day, then 36 tasks for 100 points, and an infinite number of tasks for 50 points. The numbers aren't final. I want to highlight, we still need to keep the limit of points you can receive per day. Season pass currency affects a bunch of mechanics, including economy, and overly easy and uncontrolled farming of the currency was #1 problem. Closing the entire season pass in 2 weeks is not okay. Sorry, not sorry. Again, I understand the way they're coming from here. This is, again, very numbers oriented. It's this idea, you need to control the economy, which is fair enough. Like, otherwise you get, like in the Russian server, like in-game inflation, which is also very demotivating. However, yeah, I understand the sentiment of that we shouldn't close season passes in 2 weeks, but on the other hand, it should still be possible if you want to. You know, if you really want to spend the time grinding the season pass in 2 weeks, sure, you know, you should still have that option. What people are also very rightfully so saying is that they say it's not okay to clear the season pass in 2 weeks, but yet you can just buy the season pass in literally 1 day. So it's not okay to complete it legit, but if you card swipe, it's fine. Which is, you know, there's double standards in that, and that's, I think, also something that really bothers a lot of players, where it feels like, yeah, nothing is allowed unless you give them a lot of money. And that's something that's very toxic to your player base, that you should give the freedom for people to legitimately grind the pass if they want in 2 weeks. And you can do that even with controlling the season pass. You can do that. You'll just make it harder for these people, but it's possible, and you need to give that possibility, even though I personally will never grind it in 2 weeks, because that's how you burn out. But if they want to, they should have that freedom. So I'm not sure how I feel about this statement. Hopefully we'll see a little bit more freedom in the future. Then the third point, from categories to weeklies. We refuse bonuses for categories for the completion of any 15 quests per week. You'll receive +5 levels, for 45, 5 more, and for 75, another 5. You'll be able to sweat only on weekends or even once a week and keep the effective pace of farming. The numbers are not final either. I think this is, again, an important part that has to be mentioned, that because of the way it's organized now, like, for example, what I used to do a lot, if I don't have a lot of time in a week, I would just grind my weeklies, because they're very good for the battle pass XP. I would just grind them in like 1 day or like 2 days and play like a lot on 1 day and then not for the rest of the week, because I had a lot of other things to do. And especially for a lot of the player base, if you have a job, if you have a busy time in university, in high school or whatever, this is a real scenario, and nothing feels more demotivating and like a chore if it's just capped, which is essentially what is happening with the current system. You cannot grind it in a weekend anymore because of the way the XP is organized. And I think this is also very problematic, so I'm hopeful that with this statement they mean that they're looking into enabling that again, because this is exactly what I'm saying. They're just saying that they want to give people the freedom to play the way that they like to play, but then they're taking away a lot of that freedom by changing the system in this way. So I'm hoping they expand and give a bit more freedom again to play the game the way that you want. Then the last part is exploration bonus will be juicer. So I think this is supposed to be juicier, but whatever. We had initially released bugged bonus, causing fewer points to be given for each daily. It will be more, plus 700 points per day. So this is again, this is what they always do with the exploration bonus. They change it and then say like, oh, but it was a bug, guys, sorry, and then they change it again. The exploration bonus has always been a weird one in this game, and they keep changing it without telling us all the time. So you know what, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, but this just feels like trying to a way to extinguish the fire and pretending that it was not their intention, but I'm not too sure. We'll see. I'm happy the explorer bonus is gonna be a little bit more again. It should help making the grind a bit better. As another part of this same point, Ziv says, I would like to especially mention and thank you for the constructive feedback. There are a lot of thoughtful and honest feedbacks which do not make the team tilted, but on the contrary help to see the root of the problem and motivate them to take decisive actions. And this is something, I think it's good that they acknowledge this, and I do agree that it is obviously also not helpful if you just say, this is shit. Fuck your game. I understand it. Don't get me wrong. I understand that reaction, especially after playing myself. That was my first reaction. I was like, what the fuck is this? But I do understand that the devs, they've developed it, they're in a sort of bubble, you know? And I think it's important that we also, in a way, break that bubble and show them with concrete examples this is wrong. So I'm happy that they are acknowledging that there was a lot of thoughtful and honest feedback. If we keep that coming as a community, there might be an opportunity to get more of this dialogue going, hopefully. And so then he concludes this message with saying, I bet my ass we won't leave the mechanics in their current state, we'll get them polished in the following weeks, and to brighten your wait, we've prepared an unprecedented promo code for you, 75 overdrives. Our economists cried when we shook them out for you, so yeah, we get a promo code as a sorry, and it is valid until next Wednesday, so that is Wednesday the 11th of June, so use it before the maintenance on the 11th of June, and it will award you with 75 overdrives. And to use this one, just go to your profile, click activate promo code, and type in OHMYGOD-SOMANY-OVERDRIVES, and then click activate, and you get 75 overdrives. I'll also put it on the screen right now, and it will be in the description as well. So this is nice. I guess the overdrives, you know, are used to boost the XP gain, but it's only for one task, not even for the whole category, just one task once the first time, which is, again, this is also plays into this whole like pay to win thing a little bit more, which I'm also not too happy about. Like, I understand it's a live service game, it's free, there has to be some form of them to make money, but yeah, it just feels a bit scummy, especially since right now the battle pass is so chory. So yeah, I'm not too happy about the overdrives mechanic, but I guess I understand where they're coming from. And then he concludes this message with this picture, which honestly, this makes this sucks. Like, I mean, they have a whole art department and they use this dumbass AI art. Like, come on, guys. Like, this was a nice message, I guess, in many ways, and you get this dumbass picture in there. It's just disrespectful to artists everywhere. Yeah, maybe this is a me thing, but I do not think it supports your message very well, and your message would have been the same without this picture in there. But whatever, this doesn't really matter, I guess. But yeah, anyway, this is kind of my thoughts. I've been a bit rambly, but I just had to get this off my chest as well. I also wanted to share, obviously, the kind of positive message we got in the Discord, because I do know a lot of people are not in that Discord, and it is not posted on Steam or other platforms, so we gotta get the message out there somehow that they are aware of this, since they're not doing that themselves. So yeah, I hope you found it helpful, I guess, in a way, to hear that a lot of people feel this way about the season, but also that Exbo is listening and that these feedback forms are being read. I'll also link the site in the description where you can leave this feedback. Again, please leave like good feedback that they can actually use, and not like you just saying they suck, because that doesn't help them either, which I understand that we're all feeling that way, but that's not gonna help change the game necessarily. So if you have any honest feedback, if you have ideas, if you have things that you think would make this system and this game better, let them know. Honestly, this is proof that they are reading it, at least they say so. So honestly, all we can do is leave more feedback so they have more to work with and listen to the community, I guess, in a better way. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you want to watch more Stalcraft content, you can find gameplay here on the left, and you can find the overview video of everything new this season here on the right. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the zone, Stalkers.